always say doesn't matter for at least a good 10 minutes.
So speaking of not mattering, welcome to the Average Adventuring Party podcast, where the party may be average, but their adventures are not.
No snarky comments. Look at us.
We respect you, GM.
And growing.
That's a joke because I don't even respect myself.
But if you don't respect yourself, then how will other people respect you?
I don't expect them to.
Well, then you're a piece of shit.
And that's the crux of the issue. Well, we've solved all my problems. Good night, folks.
Does that mean I'm a piece of shit?
I think, therefore, I'm a shit.
I think, therefore, I shit. And on that note,
good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. I'll see myself out.
We're gonna see how many awkward pauses we can fill this one up.
I'm gonna make some very, very, very sensual noises against my microphone. This is going to be some ASMR.
Oh God, put it away.
This is now wet mouth sounds ASMR. I just had myself a wintergreen lifesaver mint, and my mouth is nice and hydrated.
Hey, babe.
That's a good mint.
Babe, do you ever want to have sex again?
Oh, look at that. No more ASMR. We are now the loud sports broadcasting. Goal!
Unfortunately, I don't have anything to threaten you with.
Mike, do you ever want to have sex again?
We will tattle to your wife.
We'll make it so you can't. Oh.
We'll make it so that's all you do. You won't have time to game.
That's one of those, like, would you rather? It's like,
There you go. There's our first Twitter poll. Would you rather be permanently exhausted from sex and never be able to game again, or actually have free time?
What is this free time you speak of?
I don't know. One day we'll get...
In that, like, polar opposite...
One day we'll get free time, and I'll let you know. So what happened last time, you guys?
Some asshole in a robe with a big sword that's made out of bones. Not the sword, the dude. Came and after we left the compound and insisted on getting his ass kicked in a duel.
I was just going to say a holy man died.
Yeah, he really got boned.
You're welcome.
She really put
Yet
a pin in that one.
Yet another, and he was bringing back dead bodies, including Sir Rincewind the No Blade.
Didn't you steal his sword? Bony dude's sword?
Yes, I stole the bony dude's sword.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also stole Rincewind's sword too. Yeah, I took his shit. That's right.
Yeah,
Loot the bodies.
You
Loot the
heard it
bodies.
here first, guys.
No, you got all of his equipment that wasn't his sword or armor.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You heard it here first, guys. Galdrien loves the swords.
I mean, he's a sword guy. You know how there's like horse girls? He's a sword guy.
Nope.
No,
Not touching that one. So yeah, let's pick up there. You guys had moved a grand total of about, I don't know, 50 feet away from where you started.
All right, and Galdrien picks up the sword, and it's like a two-handed sword.
Yes. Yeah, it's it looks like a very finely wrought, but also extremely old and pitted two-handed greatsword.
Am I getting any sort of like magic out of this thing?
Oh yeah.
Do I have to roll for it?
make a con save.
So Galdrien's more of a one-handed sword kind of guy, and he's gonna look at it and say, Rhys, what do you think we should do with this?
Well,
Got any chambers we can just throw this in and lock it away?
I have to say, as legal counsel, that I would not have any chambers members or any connections to people who would make use of those.
So Jola, while they're talking about that, every time Galdrien holds that sword up, all you are getting are just horribly terrible, evil vibes off of it.
I was thinking take this to the edge of Hycosia and just throw it off.
Yeah, that way you can cut a halfling child in half.
No, the edge. There should not be any halfling children walking around the desert.
You hear Talon go, would that make them a quarterling?
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, by all means.
Maybe take it somewhere to, undo the evilness around it?
Yes, do you have anywhere in mind?
Would I know some?
Yes, up her butt and around the corner.
I don't think it'll fit.
Hey, Galdrien, make a wisdom save.
What? You don't get to tell me to make those.
Oh, hold on, everybody. I'm shifting my GM notes over to Stephanie.
You said evil sword, so.
Yeah, you know.
He's not going to try to use it. He's
You
going
know-
to try to destroy
You
it.
don't have to use it.
You know a fair number of people who are both enchanters and disenchanters.
Yeah. So let's go.
All right.
I would suggest, being very careful with it, though.
They're nowhere near here, though.
Oh, great, another long walk.
Honestly, as far as duels go, you could leave it right here.
No.
I know, but I don't want him coming back. That was annoying.
Well, and what if it falls in the hands of the wrong person?
It's true. What if some halfling child comes over and picks it up? First of all, he'd be a really strong child. But second of all, he could get in trouble.
We could still outrun them. It's
Cree
fine.
says, hey, can I see that sword real quick?
Oh, you might
Sure,
want to be careful.
I'm not entirely invested in you yet. And
She reaches over and grabs it, and she kind of picks it up, and it's bigger than she is. And she swing. Ooh, I am possessed by the vengeful spirit of that bony guy over there.
I mean, you're joking, but I am pretty sure that that's some sort of evil magic emanating from it.
Oh, ick. And she just drops it, and it sticks in the ground.
Well, we had it here first. Cat girl with a sword.
So Galdrien's going to pull out that sheet of paper that has all the duels,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to look and see if that one has been filled in yet.
Yes. There is now a line for Tessadul, the Death Knight, versus you, and you are marked as the winner.
Does it actually have my name on there now?
Yes. It had your name previously.
Okay.
It just, the names of all the upcoming duelists are question marks.
So, Tessadul, the Death Knight, is my latest challenger.
More like Tessa dead, am I right?
I give that a 2 out of 5.
He's going to come back. But I did defeat him in the duel, so I suppose all's well that ends well. However, you see how many names, how many spaces are on this list, and Galdrien shows it to Rhys.
Yeah, there's over 100.
And do you see who is commissioning them?
Yes. You must have done something to really piss him off.
I've never even met the man.
That you know of.
You did ask
Now,
for the
now
true
let
name.
me ask something. Can I ask something?
I mean, you can ask anything.
Did anyone else pay any attention to what the fuck that guy said?
Yes, a bit about son, daughter.
And the bean back.
I mean,
I
you
think
don't...
that being back was pretty self-evident. Like Scully and dead and bringing back his friends. That makes sense to me.
So, what I'm curious about is the whole son, daughter thing. I mean, Rhys, do you know your parents?
Of course.
They're pixies, right?
Yes. My suggestion is we wait around till the next fucker comes by. You duel him. But maybe we beat the shit out of him and maybe he'll have an answer.
I really tried to do that with Rincewind the Blade. I want people to understand. First, I can't remember if first I pantsed him or if first I punched him.
No,
But
no. What I'm saying is, you look at this list, and this person, and this person, and this person. We don't know who they are yet, but we know who commissioned them. Meaning, they might have more information. So, you go around looking for the next fuckhead that's going to come by, and you beat the shit out of him until he tells you an answer. It's genius.
maybe they can be like the genie and not be to the death.
I mean, all of these, if I'm not mistaken, say to the death.
Do they all say to the death?
No.
No.
But that's typically.
Yeah.
I mean, there is usually, if it's not to the death, there is a resolution point in mind.
Is Rincewind's body still in the ground, at the ground, or did it dissolve?
So all of the bodies, with the exception of Tessadul, have crumbled away into ash and blown away.
All right. I was going to see if I could just take his skull.
I mean, like his helmet is there, and when you open it up, there's nothing underneath the helmet.
Okay. I'll take the helmet as a little keepsake.
Yes. Tessadul's helmet certainly has a horrible rotting horsemane on it.
So as much as this hurts me to say, I do kind of agree with Rhys that maybe next time we should not kill the guy.
Well, I
that comes
didn't
to
want to
attack
kill
you.
the first one.
And let's find a way to bound him to ask questions.
So, I think we go to the nearest square.
And just stand there?
No, have him get up there and be like, who's the next contestant? Right?
No,
Just
because
expedite it.
that could make anybody come up there rather than somebody that.
Wait, but I think he's got a point. But what if I just put on a performance instead?
It always comes back to that with you, doesn't it?
He's a bard. What did you expect?
Galdrien takes his lute and holds it up and strums it. Actually, I need to.
We
I need
should
to
probably
speak.
get rested up and recovered
I was
first.
gonna say, can
We
we
should
like
rest, but
spell
also-
and eat and
Yes. We need to eat, but also I need to set up a meeting with House Tabakunan. Leonire may be my best chance of flushing out whoever is,
Oh, he's not here.
or rather his connections may be.
I mean, Cree pulls out a cigar and lights it. I mean, sure.
All right.
But, he's not here.
What would you suggest then?
I'm along for the ride at this point.
Slow news day.
I've, just reporting on celebrities and their mishaps. Not very fun. Pays the bills.
Sounds kind of vapid.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've gotten a good story. So, I'm what you might call after that bit. I'm more of a neutral third party observer, as it were.
Right. Let's see.
Blood-sucking press. Yes.
Better than being a blood sucking lawyer.
So how far away from the town is a disenchanter that I know?
You probably know a bunch of back alley enchanters who do things like break magical manacles and things like that. So they're far away from. They're in the slums, more or less.
Rhys probably knows some, but he's not one to be breaking an evil sword. Like, it's just not his
Wait,
Wait a second. I think we're going about this all wrong. And Galdrien's looking at the helmet, and are any of the guards nearby?
Oh yeah, there's two compound guards just standing over there at the gate, kind of watching this whole thing go down.
Excuse me. Yes. Hello, guards.
One of them kind of gives you a nod.
Could you please do me a favor and Galdrien is looking at the helmet and says, could you please chuck this in some sort of animal trough?
One of the guards looks at you, looks at the helmet. I'm sorry, sir. We don't do requests.
Please?
I'm sure if you visit one of our fabulous magical item stores, they would be more than happy to assist you with those remains.
Well, where's the closest one?
I'm glad you asked. And he reaches in his pocket and pulls out a card and goes, magic items, and speaks into it, and then just hands you the card, which starts to fill itself in with addresses.
Anything close by?
No.
Right. I suppose we're going and...
So Rhys, how about a ride?
No, you couldn't afford me.
I don't mean that type of ride. Nice try, though.
And to what extent?
Well, for one thing, wouldn't it be a write-off because you're working with a client?
Well, potentially, but
So
I
tax-free?
want to make sure
so
this
come on.
fucker doesn't come back.
why?
Okay, to get us to
No.
the middle of the square of town.
Yes, I get that.
Because...
You're saying you don't want him to come back.
Yes.
One, we killed him once already. So
And it was very annoying.
I'm not too concerned about that, but two, this fucker was the one that said, son, daughter. Meaning he may have more information. So, you keep the helmet, fucker comes back, we beat the shit out of him, and now we don't have to chase him down and wait for him to show up.
You don't pay attention, do you?
If we don't kill him hard again.
The helmet was not his. The sword is his.
We still have the sword, but the point remains the same. Miss, I'm gonna correct it.
Actually, I'm not sure which one he comes out of. It is that helmet.
You're not getting anything out of the helmet.
Well, in that case, then Galdrien just punts the helmet.
Aha, I'm back!
Yeah, a couple of kids like start kicking the helmet down the street.
There you go. Have fun with that, kids.
But no, my point remains. Why would we bust the one tool that we know is guaranteed, or most likely, going to bring back the one guy who has any answers?
Because I don't think we can frighten him into divulging any secrets.
It doesn't have to be frightened. I mean, she's annoying enough. She can probably make him talk just by, talking to him.
I mean, you can sometimes get under people's skin that way. I don't know about Death Knights. I've never seen one here.
No, now you have.
But, I mean, really, think about it. He comes back, and whether we can intimidate him or not, we got arms over there. She can rip off his arms and legs, and now we have a bloody stump.
Well,
Right?
you might also be able to sell the sword.
So you are suggesting we sit right here and just wait and see?
No. We continue with the plan to find the next guy, see if he has answers. And then...
So back to my whole, will you get us a ride?
Well, you were saying that you wanted to do something about the sword.
But I meant get us a ride back to town. I can't do anything about the sword until I get to the place, and it's like way outside of town. Can you at least get us to
We're in the middle
town?
of town right now.
No, we're not. We're right outside the compound.
Yeah, there's the compound on one side of you, and about
And-
200 feet that way.
My offices are just down the road. Like,
I thought it was further.
Your offices are like
I know.
miles.
I know.
For you, it's fine because you can just fly.
I know. Like I said, I point that way, and I'm like, my offices are just down the road.
When you say that, Cree, like, nope, yeah, right down the road.
Oh, look. Let's
Well,
go ahead and get that rest that Jola was talking about.
hey, bracers, and she points at Saiyna.
Yes, the one?
Can I see your map?
Map? Is it in the bracers?
Yeah.
Okay. Saiyna will squat down and pull out the bracers and pull up the map.
And she looks at it for about 2 seconds and goes, "Oh, I know exactly where we are. Perfect place for us to stay.
And why is that?
I have a friend who owes me a favor."
Friends are good.
Favors are better.
Maybe and yes.
Lead the way, cat girl.
Okay, butterfly boy.
I'm glad you noticed.
And she says, I wouldn't eat there, though. And she just starts walking backwards and talking to you guys. You notice that she is particularly deft, and she is not paying attention to anyone behind her, but she does not bump into anyone as she's walking. She just almost instinctively seems to be moving one way or the other to just barely brush by people. And after a few minutes, she stops and says, "And here we are." And she gestures to just a stairwell going up into a building.
All right, well, who are we here to meet?
Oh, that's not the important bit. Actually, I should probably go make sure he knows we're here.
Oh, all right.
Excuse me just a minute.
So can I tell, like, is she lying or?
So, that's kind of funny about her, is you're not getting much of a reading off of her. So far, you haven't seen her lie, but for the most part, she just sort of has this neutral aura about her. She goes up the stairs. Minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you hear this horrendous commotion, and there's a crash up above you, and then a body just comes flying out the window of maybe the 3rd story and lands in front of you.
Is it a familiar looking body?
It's an elf, and peering out of a broken window is Cree going, "Love you too." Thanks.
Galdrien,
Simple favors are the best.
Galdrien will kneel down and check to see if he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
Oh, you'll be fine. Pat, pat.
You have odd friends. Stiana says to the body that just came out the window.
You just hear him go, "Oh."
Could you do him a favor and carry him back up?
You want him back up?
No, he's fine.
How about we ask him, do you want to ride back up?
He goes, "I'm fine."
Are you
Alright.
sure?
Is she up there?
Yes?
I'm fine.
All right.
Huh? No
He
arguments
just
here.
lays his head down in the dirt.
Okay.
Up we go.
Yep.
Start flying up the stairs.
So you go in and up, and before long you start hearing this very low and slow drum beat and bass line, basically. You find yourself in an empty club that is lit by these blue lanterns on the wall, so it's very, very dim. And Cree is sitting on the bar on the 2nd story, and the club is on the 1st story. And she has got her cigar in her mouth. He was reluctant to pay me back.
Well, did you get your favor?
You know, we have use of the place for the night-ish.
Well,
I
what-
figure it'll be a while before security gets back out here.
Oh, right. Well, what are we going to do then?
I don't know. That was the question out there, but now at least you asked the question here. We have music and drinks.
Yes. What was that about? Not recommending that we eat here?
Yeah. She points and says, "I wouldn't consume anything here that's not inside a bottle."
Very nourishing.
I mean, I guess this is good. And she holds up, we'll say, some citrus for drinks. And so, yeah, you could probably eat that.
All right. Galdrien will just take like the equivalent of an orange.
Yeah. So you get an orange. She cuts it, hands it to you. There you go. So what's the plan?
Galdrien is did she cut me like a whole slice of orange?
She basically like extends 4 claws and just takes the orange and goes shriek and cuts it into chunks.
Galdrien looks up at her and he is like she catches him while he is making like the orange teeth face as as he coming over and like holds up a finger. Well, that's a very good question. I don't have a plan right now. I was hoping to try to make contacts with people that actually knew my father and perhaps might be able to help me find out who's been assuming his role all this time.
Okay, then do that. That
No.
seems like a plan.
House Tabakunan, and he was apparently very close with its head, but like you said, he's not here right now. So
I mean, yeah, but
his wife, maybe.
yeah, probably.
So what I'm thinking is I go and introduce myself. I mean, announce myself as the long-lost son of Lord Lunarstorm and coming to pay my respects. Perhaps asking for their assistance, explaining the situation to them.
That sounds like a plan to me. What about you?
Do I know anything about his father's relationship with?
With that family in particular?
Yes. No.
Do I know anything about his father's relationship with that family in particular?
You know about his business relationships,
Okay.
which, I mean, pick an industry and they probably cross over at some point.
Yeah. Would anything that I know from his business relationships seem to point in that there would be more relationship, like off the books or something relating to his parentage?
Probably not off the top of your head.
Okay.
Lord Lunarstorm probably was pretty public and tactical about disclosing his relationships in that regard. So, you knew all of the public aspects of it. And that probably really didn't differ because if someone found out they had additional business dealings, it would be bad news for everyone involved.
Wait, you both, Jola, Rhys, you both actually worked with my father. Did you ever see him directly?
Yes.
Yeah.
How long ago? How recently?
I would assume fairly recently for Rhys.
Jola probably saw him a month or two ago. Rhys probably sees him at least once a week, if not more.
Yeah.
Even if it's just in passing.
So, did he look something like me?
Looked like the automaton that he found, right?
They didn't see that, but
Yeah,
I mean,
Kree
like-
goes, "Is that what you recorded?"
yes.
And she boops the stone in just the right way, and it starts projecting images onto the bar. One of which, it's a little grainy, but is a fairly accurate recreation of the scene and your father's body. And that looks like him.
Yes, that's him.
Oh, he's very dead. I mean, no offense.
No, he's been dead since before I was born, apparently. And the man that you two have been working with is...
Week 3.
Oh, yes, you've been... Well, how long have you been looking for me?
Is it 6 weeks or 6 months?
No, you'd only been looking for him for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But you had been working with his father since your creation.
Yeah.
So, I think this is... Someone has been taking the place of my father, someone very convincing. And now they've either eliminated themselves or they've somehow kept the actual scene of the crime in such perfect condition through some sort of magical stasis. I can't say for sure. But I think the beast, some sort of beast must have come into there. I took some pictures of the window where it seems to have come in. So there's some scorch marks, so perhaps some sort of fire-breathing monster.
Cree, clicks the images to what you're talking about. And at one point, she holds the stone up so that it's projecting on the wall and goes, here, hold this, and hands it to Saiyna. And she's like, nope, wait, a little higher, a little higher.
Hi.
Wait, no, that's too high. Hold on, right there. And she walks up, and Galdrien, who was there, realizes it's pretty much in actual scale. And she Cree takes her hand and like puts it over one of those wounds or one of those claw marks in the wall, and like puts her whole arm in it effectively. He goes, "Oh, that's big. I would think dragon, at least. I mean, I've never seen one, but
I've been inside of one.
we're not that kind of magazine, Galdrien.
No, in its guts,
Oh, hi.
killing it.
I don't think you're helping.
Yeah, I don't think you're making it better.
I opened up its chest cavity, and together with my not girlfriend, and murdered the shit out of it.
So what I'm hearing is that the heir to the lunar storm fortunes is not single. And she pulls out a notepad and starts writing in it.
Oh, I thought you were
It's-
going to go
it's-
with the heir of the, or not heir of the Lunar Storm Fortunes, murdered a sentient being with his not girlfriend.
Oh, I was gonna say had a threesome with a
Well, I hear
sentient being.
I hear
and
it's,
a not girlfriend.
I hear it's okay if it's in a three-way.
Oh, then I'm good.
This is Haikoja. We don't care how many sums you have.
Case in point.
I mean, so the question becomes then, who would have access to a dragon? I mean, aside from, dragons, right?
Right.
But they don't really operate here. They would get shot down. I think. Pretty sure.
There's a lot you don't know, is there?
Listen, I'm 14. I've
What is that in cat ears?
probably about 10.
Blink, blink.
You know, if Saiyna had been holding this crystal up at a certain angle, she'd be plucking a cigar from this kid.
What was that bit about you being having lived long enough? When I told you that those would kill you, and he points to the cigar.
No, I said I spontaneously regenerate tissue.
All right. Well, let's see who might have access to a dragon then.
So would I have dealt with dragons trying to free people from?
I mean, dragons routinely send envoys here to sell slaves. In fact, there's a great commodity market for dwarves, because dragons literally carve dwarves out of rock and breathe life into them, and then if they fulfill their purpose or can't fulfill their purpose, they just sell them. Literally costs them nothing but time, and they have plenty of time because they're immortal.
So it's safe to say that I would have helped a few dwarves.
Probably. Yeah.
So, I'm sure I have pissed off a few dragons in my time. Not that
Same.
I would. How?
You know how humiliating it is for a dragon to be caught at a human brothel?
I mean, that's true.
Yes, I do.
Fair
I'm
point.
just saying.
Fair point.
She points at the recording stone and says, shows true forms and all.
True.
She holds it up and, like, eyeballs you, and holds the recording stone up to Jola, and then casts the image on the ground, and it looks like Jola. Holds it up to Galdrien. Ground. Saiyna. Rhys. Huh. Close enough.
So can I see that?
Why?
Because I want to flip through the pictures myself.
Sure.
I mean, I've seen dragon damage before.
Sure. Here you go. She hands you the stone.
I'm going to put it on her and then put it on the floor.
Mhm.
What's her true form?
Make me a... give me a skill check in regards to operating magical stuff that you don't know.
Okay. So I still get my +2. Nope, it does not affect me. Damn.
Womp womp.
Never mind. Nope. I know nothing. I got 3.
Yep. So you hold it up, fiddle with it a little bit, and then hold it down to the ground, and there's just this really fuzzy, blurry image of everybody. And she
So
goes,
can somebody show me how to get to the pictures?
"Oh yeah, it's real simple. You just put your hand like this and like this,
Uh-huh.
and then you think about which photo you would like to go to."
What if I don't remember some of them? Can't I just scroll through them?
Oh yeah, that'd be really convenient. Maybe on the next generation.
But otherwise I have to think of the photo. Oh my
Well, I
god,
suppose
let's see
you
if
could-
I remember.
I suppose you could think next, maybe. I mean, it's not gonna like let you just keep. I don't know. Just don't break it. What do you want to see? I'll show you. How about that? And she grabs it from you. She takes the.
Oh, not that one.
Yeah. Oops. No, she takes it and goes, "For your own edification," and she, holds it up for herself and then projects it onto the floor, and there is kind of a terrifying cat monstrosity that's standing on 2 legs with big fangs and bloody claws. Just, I don't really like to talk about it much, but thanks for making me self-conscious.
Yeah, I knew a were-badger, so
Oh, from the swamps, huh?
yes, Blood Bayou.
Oh, yeah, I've heard stories.
So back to the pictures. Can I still see the picture with the
Oh.
dragon claw?
Yeah, there you go. She, flips through. There it is.
Thank you.
Saiyna will reach out and like gently pet her on the head while she's doing the self-conscious bit.
Yeah, her ears twitch a little bit, and she's like, up, a little lower,
Scritch, 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 scritch.
right there. Ah. I mean, no self-respecting.
Scritch, 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 scritch.
It's just like any other real cat, like, oh, I'm liking it. No, I hate it. Oh, but I'm liking it. No, fuck you.
That's enough. I love you.
But yes, she shows you that picture again.
So do I notice anything weird in the pictures?
I mean,
Anything off?
it looks like, utter devastation. And it looks like something basically broke in a window, like forced itself in. So there's a huge just chunk missing out of the wall, and then took 2 clawed hands, wrapped them around, and then pulled its head in. And then there's scorch marks around the edge of the thing.
And I'm assuming I've been in this office before, having dealt
No.
dealings with him. No.
Nope. Galdrien and Saiyna are the only 2 who have been in this office.
Right. Then, let's see. Rhys, would you happen to know how I could get a hold of House Tobacunon?
Yeah, there's some channels that we may be able to tap, but I don't know how close they are. What exactly is it you're wanting to do?
I would like a meeting with the matriarch.
I don't know that my contacts would go that high.
You could probably talk to Saloth's best deal and get
but-
something.
But I know somebody who might be able to make a deal.
All right, that'd be great. I can't bank on my past experiences with them because who knows what's different now. But I may be able to bank on my father's friendship with Leonire, and perhaps they can be of assistance, assuming they're not somehow involved. I'd like to think they're not, but I can't assume anything at this point.
I think that's a fantastic idea. Well, I think it's an idea. But I think we need to get some sleep first. It's been a long, trying day. Since yesterday was at a whorehouse. And I didn't quite... I don't know what we're talking about. Sorry. I mean, we didn't exactly get the most rest there.
You may not have gotten the most rest there.
Cree says, "Yeah, why don't someone go pick us up some dinner, and
I'll go.
Oh, thank God.
I'll keep watch if you guys want to rest."
Be sure you bring back all the food.
That's a reference to something players.
Maybe I'll bring myself a jacket.
So you head out.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
little bit.
So for the edification of our listeners,
Immortalize it, yes.
Ray was kindly picking us up dinner that we all ordered, and a few things were left at the restaurant, and
You mean everything that wasn't Ray's order?
oh yes, that everything that was. To be fair, she didn't realize she was picking.
I know.
Yeah, she asked, "Are you sure you don't want me to go pick it up?" And then Mike, who was gonna go pick it up, changed his mind and said, "Yeah, go pick it up."
Yeah, sure.
And
you
she
can
didn't
get
hear
it this
him
time.
on her way out the door.
So Ray comes back with food for Ray, and we're all like sitting there like, "Oh, good, Ray's back." And then
She's like, "Did I beat Mike?"
and Mike's
Yes,
like,
yes, you did.
Anyway,
That was great.
so pretty much you're able to find a street food vendor on every corner, and you get a selection of local delicacies. There seems to be it's some kind of cured meat inside dough that's fried and then battered in like this spicy honey. That seems to be like a really popular food cart item.
Remember, guys, he's gonna have to make this later.
I'll make you later.
So is there any type of goulash or goop or oysters or
Oop, we have
something like that that looks gross that everybody's like, it's an acquired taste?
Yeah.
I'm going to get some for Rhys.
You can probably actually find. We'll say it's some kind.
Maybe a rat burger?
It's honestly probably some kind of gigantic desert snail that's cooked in its
Oh,
shell.
yeah, let's get that.
With drowned in butter?
No, it's honestly more likely drowned in like some kind of curry. So they just flip this thing upside down and then just pour curry into the shell and then cook it. And it's probably about the size of Jola's head. So you have to get a tote bag to carry it. But she comes in and Cree immediately just like grabs 2 or 3 of those little paper wrapped packets from you and just
Hungry?
spontaneous regeneration burns a lot of calories.
Well, Rhys might share his with you.
Ooh, what did Rhys get?
Yes, what did I get?
Here you go. Just for you.
Wow.
It's gonna be
This
your
is
favorite.
a delicacy. This is one of my favorites. Thank you. How did you know? Like, I despise you. So it's really kind of creepy that you know what my favorite... I have to come over here specifically to get it because I can't find it anywhere else. And then he'll start taking his shirt off and his winter clothes, gets down to his jimmies and just dives right in.
while this is going on, Galdrien and Saiyna are probably like over at one side of the club by themselves, and Galdrien's tuning his lute and he says, Saiyna,
Yes, good one.
I was curious, what are you going to do, when we get all of this resolved?
To be honest, I don't know. Do you require a bodyguard?
I probably do, but it's not about what I require. It's about what you want to do with yourself. You were quote unquote created, but that It doesn't have to define you. You can have goals of your own, dreams of your own. There's places in the world where I think it'd be real nice for you to go visit. But I like your company. You've been an awesome protector, and maybe it's because I never really got a chance to know my mother. She died when I was so young, but have that sort of energy to you.
You are a sweet one. And she's gonna scoop Galdrien up in a hug. A gentle one, a firm but gentle.
He still wasn't expecting. It's like, I'd like to write a song for you, if that's all right.
I would be touched.
I'll need a little bit of time to work on it, but and in the meantime, while I'm working on that, I'd like you to think about what you want from life and what you would do if you had complete freedom.
For you, I will think about it.
Thank you.
It may take a bit since all I've known is working for your father. And I've taken pride in doing my job.
There's only one other elemental that I ever got to know, and it wasn't even in this life, but he was a water elemental who broke out of his particular chains of servitude, or at least he got out of Hycosia, I think. He was he was an alchemist, but a very unique individual, and I'm sure he's out there somewhere, probably somewhere frozen right now, but he was, there's lots of people that I met that I miss, either because they died or because it was from another world, and I feel like my memory of them is the only thing that keeps them going. So that's why I want to make sure that everyone I care about, I commit to song.
That is very, very sweet of you.
He smiles a little bit and he says, well, let's go see what...
Chaos is happening in the other room?
Yes. I think I hear Rhys screaming for joy, which is a very unusual thing.
Pat, pat. On your hair.
Yeah. Cree is stuffing food in her mouth. Rhys is swimming and eating a giant snail.
Swimming in the giant snail, eating it.
Like you do.
And now I'll have a place to sleep, too.
That smells like curry.
And just flips the shell over. He's like, look at me, I'm a snail.
I'm a hermit. Yeah.
I get +2 to my AC now.
If you keep the shell.
Yeah, so this music that's been playing in the background, there is a stage, but there's no performers on the stage. And it just seems to be coming from those lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to Scott Pilgrim it.
At one point, like, Cree has curled up on the bar, and she just, like, stomps her feet and starts muttering to herself, and just kicks open the door to a different room, and you hear her banging around and ripping stuff up until just there's this screech and the music stops, and she comes back out and says, well, I'm up, so I'm going to keep watch.
Was that strictly necessary?
Listen, when your hearing is as sensitive as mine, it gets a little annoying. So I'm just going to go, and she, like, perches herself on the window that a man got thrown through. And she's like, I'm just going to sit on this sign out here and keep an eye out if you guys want to get some sleep.
You say that, and Rhys is already like in a food coma, passed out, snoring little snores.
That snail is probably as big as you are.
So Saiyna, Rhys and Jola, give me a good old perception check. Galdrien falls asleep.
You don't get a choice. You fall asleep.
He's had a
This tracks.
pretty busy day. Jola,
I got a 10.
Rhys,
That's
3.
the protector, probably. Or
22!
okay. In the middle of the night, we'll say that Saiyna wakes up. Her senses have been honed, as far as hunting and protecting goes. You hear voices coming from one of the. There's a story above this one. You hear voices coming from up there, and one of them is Cree, and she's talking to someone.
I am going to go sneak up and eavesdrop.
Okay.
Dropping them eaves.
Give me a good old sneak check.
you're a hunter, you probably have to be sneaky for that, despite being 9 feet tall.
I got tracker.
She gets down on all sixes and
Spider climbs.
spider climbs.
19. I'm going to use tracker on that since, gotta be stealthy. For 19.
For 19.
Wait, no. 19. 23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's 5 for tracker, 14 on the die, 4 for level.
So you go through the back room, and there's a room that Cree has utterly destroyed and pulled some fixtures off of walls and ripped desks apart in her hunt for getting the music to stop. And her voice is coming from basically a room over and a floor up. And when you get to the next room, there's a set of stairs. Climb the stairs, and you can hear her talking. And she's talking about Galdrien.
His nose is twitching.
And Galdrien's like, why are my ears burning? She says, he's doing okay. He's a little dim-witted, I think. And then you hear another voice say something to her, but you can't quite make it out. And she says, well, I know, but we're supposed to keep them apart and keep him in trouble. So I guess we're hitting the marks with that one. I'm not having to do much to keep pushing him into danger. And then the other voice says something. And she says, oh, really? You think? Huh. I don't know. I don't think the big one's that sneaky. The other voice says something. And Saiyna, you feel this tap on your waist from behind you. Mm-hmm. And when you look down, Cree is standing there. And she just puts a hand on your stomach and just lifts you up and slams you into a wall. And when she does so, her arm from where she's grabbing you all the way up to her shoulder becomes bronze and scaly. And she looks at you and says, I was right. You're not as sneaky as I pegged you to be. And she just pulls you in really close and says, you're not going to say a fucking word to anybody about what you heard, or I'm going to eat you. And then she drops you and pats you on the stomach and goes, good talk. And then walks away.
And Saiyna will call out as she's walking away. If you hurt him, I'm not going to care how big your teeth are.
She just kind of like gives you the wave, walks down the stairs. And that's where we'll leave off, I think.
I'd like to see her eat her, because then forearms just choke the uvula. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't go down.
Yeah, so,
Don't I forget this encounter after it happens?
nope. So, you guys got anything?
Questions?
So many questions.
So do I.
Trauma.
Well, you're not special.
His jacket. Oh,
Green.
wait,
I got green fuzzy stuff on my toenail.
we always knew you were a fun guy.
I was waiting. If you didn't say it, I was done. So speaking of fun guys, we're fun guys. So find the place, do the things.
You got mouse stuff.
I don't actually have green fuzzy stuff on my toenail. It's okay. My feet pics are safe.
Yes, feetpics.averageadventuringparty.weebly.com. Not owned by us, nor a service we provide. But so, if you guys don't have anything,
That's our next tier.
Feet pics?
we'll maybe answer some questions next time. So, having said that,
Maybe.
yeah, maybe. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.